Hi everyone, welcome to Beat Celestio Tarot. Sorry for the shaky camera. Welcome to Beat Celestio Tarot. This is our Leo January 2021 reading. I just picked up the cards and I feel like some of you are really like either missing your friends or wanting some kind of intimate relationship, like just kind of feeling like you might be dying of like maybe quarantine's really getting at you, but like just missing your friends, wanting more like intimate connections or like authentic connections, if that makes sense. Sorry, it's just I picked up the deck and that's what I started seeing. Anyway, I'm gonna try to dive in, see what is to come for January 2021, and also just any general messages that want to come forward for the year to look ahead. I'm gonna try to keep it open to everything under the sun that comes through, and if it leans a certain way, I believe you're here for that message. So yeah, let's dive in. All right, all our Leos out there. Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. Something's coming in hot. I don't know. It feels like a relationship might be coming in hot, or someone you're making big moves in a relationship. Like I feel like next year is all about relationships, but also like, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like there's some inner peace to come forward for you. But also the inner peace seems to be wanting to come from you figuring out what you need to succeed, but also just being comfortable with the energy. Like I feel like there's a certain reserved energy, which I don't necessarily feel for Leos, but just like a very sensual energy of just like trying to figure out like what it is for yourself and how can I attract the relationships that are actually what are the things I want to attract in a relationship, and like what's there that I'm missing. Yeah, and then we have the King of Swords coming through. So this feels like a partner. These two cards, so we have the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is often, for me, a man or any person, I shouldn't gender it, coming forward and offering their cup of love to you. So that might be coming forward for you in the new year. Or there could be like a new growth, a building of a current relationship that you have, taking into new heights. And the King of Swords is like very much energy in which there's a new comfort. I really want some clarification on this card. But the King of Swords for me is like also just like being better at protecting your own energy, and you're also your intellect at a like special stage, just knowing what boundaries you're not willing to cross and what can you enable and won't enable in relationships. So can I get some clarification, please? But it also just feels like someone who just knows your worth is going to kind of come forward, and you're like, okay, this is what I've been wanting. This is something I've been attracting and wanting for a while. Yeah, the Hierophant could be a Taurus, or you can have Taurus in your chart. So we have the Ace of Wands, then we have the Hierophant, then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I feel, yeah, this feels very much like a year for you, building on what you want. So the Ace of Wands for me is like lighting the spark within like what makes your soul happy. And just kind of, it really feels like you're going deep of like, okay, maybe you want to change your jobs and you're like, I need to do something that actually makes me happy. Maybe you're in a situation where you're like, I'm not really finding what I want. But then the Hierophant can often mean like learning from someone. So you might actually take up on a new skill and find like a new mentor that kind of just helps you recognize what it is you're looking for. And this could often even mean like a spiritual awakening. I don't know why I got that, but I'm hearing like a spiritual awakening, like someone who can help you like walk the path of like, what is it? Like, how do I find the joy? Like maybe it's like a life coach or therapy or something like that. But this also feels like just doing artistic or creative things to make you happy again, like really finding the fire within you. Because the Eight of Pentacles in this deck, for me, it's like someone who's like working on their creative pursuits to kind of like figure out like, oh, this is something I like doing, so how can I benefit if I keep doing this thing? How can I benefit and start making money from doing this one thing that I'm really passionate about? So you might be trying to find a way to incentivize things that make you happy. Okay, so let's see, can we give me clarification for our Leos out there? And also with the Knight of Cups, it doesn't have to be romantic. Like, there could be someone who comes forward who offers you something that's like an opportunity that you're like, oh, actually, this is an opportunity I want. Yeah, you might have a few offers in the next year. But also, like, it's all about what you are capable of. Like, I don't know if you, like, have a list of, like, all right, here are my skills, here's what I'm good at. Let me, like, cross-reference, like, how can I apply these to different things in my life? Yeah, okay, these wands, we have the 8 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So yeah, it's all about the timing, the Hanged Man. But for some reason, you feel restricted by, like, maybe you feel like the things that you want to do in your life won't actually get you anywhere. Like, you're like, these skills don't actually add up to a tangible job or a tangible opportunity. So, like, is that stupid for me trying to go after it? And the 8 and the 9 of Wands coming up, it's like, I feel like you're slowly building at articulating what you want. And I'm also having a hard time talking, so I think some of you might actually struggle with actually putting the things you want into existence. So, like, actually, I think maybe there might be a fear of being like, I actually want this, and I'm kind of scared to say that out loud. Or maybe, like, chose a path, and you're like, actually, this is not what I want, and I'm kind of scared to start over on a new career path. But also just rely on your friends a little bit. But also, like, justice is, like, things will work out in the way that you need them to. You just need to find the balance and kind of, like, figure out what it is that, like, it's like the timing has to be right. And there's some lack of balance in your life right now that you need to find. And I think it is, like, maybe your own inner turmoil of feeling like it would be reckless for you to, like, try something new at this point in your life. You're like, that would just be stupid. Like, I don't know if that's, like, am I sacrificing something good to just have no good results? All right, I'm going to pull from a different deck. Let's see if we can get some clarification for our Leos out there. Yeah, there's something else coming forward. Like, you're making moves somewhere else, and it's not where you're at now. I'm just going to say that out loud. I don't think what you're doing right now is making you happy, and this is, like, a sign. Yeah, okay, yeah, that you need to move forward. So the 6 of Swords. For me, that's, like, going forward and, like your headspace needs to make strides of, like, you need to make the decision to move forward, and you need to pick the happiness for yourself. And then the 2 of Swords is, like, I feel like you feel binded by where you're at in your life, of, like, maybe the expectations of where you should be, the expectations of, like, maybe your family, like, maybe your mom or your dad kind of puts expectations of where you need to be, or maybe it's, like, your own weird internal bias of, like, oh my god, can I be this reckless, can I be this, like, for you, it's like to pick something that would make you happy feels a bit impractical. And maybe you have, like, with the Hierophant coming up before, maybe you have these, like, ingrained values of, like, practicality, and that's frustrating for you to try to let go of that. But with the 2 of Swords, it's like these are 2 decisions you have to come to terms with. But also, like, what the thing is, she's blindfolded, but she's not bound by anything, so she can take the blindfold off. She has to make the decision to do it, though. Like, you have to make the decision that this is what you want. And it's funny, the Hanged Man came out again, so it's, like, right on top of the other Hanged Man from the other deck. And I think there has to be a shift in perspective. There has to be that change for yourself. You need to make the first chance, make the first shot, and, like, it comes from you. The perspective change has to come from you. You have to be the one to decide. Yeah, and it's okay. It's gonna take a little work. It's not like easy. It's gonna take work, yeah. But it's like once you start working out what it is you want, everything's gonna fall into place. Because then we have the Queen of Cups, which for me is emotional fulfillment. The Knight of Wands, like, really just, like, seeing all the things that have come together and being so proud of the things that you built, you put it together. And then the King of Swords is, like, there's this emotional intelligence, and also the butterfly in this deck, in this card, always sticks out to me. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a butterfly there. And for me, that means, like, a transformation, and I think there's a marriage. Also, this could be a partnership, too. Like, the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, there's water, there's air energy, but also this could be, like, a power couple of really, like, things falling into place with you, and what that means. Like, once you figure out, like, what it is you want to do, you might actually meet a partner that helps elevate all your dreams and elevates you to the person you want to be. I'm going to pull some love oracle cards just because love came out in the beginning, but I kind of lost it. But this can, all 3 can resonate with you, and none of it could resonate with you. Just take it as you may. All right, what is coming forward for our Leos? What is coming forward for our Leos? Month of January 2021 of the year. Okay. All right, so we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, third-party interference. Then we have camera, reminiscent, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. Then we have acts, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. So take that as you will. Then I'm going to pull from a final oracle. It's called Elemental Oracle. And I'm going to read from the card of like what I'm getting from the card. But also I'm going to read from the actual book, just to make sure that the right message is coming through. What is coming forward for our Leos in January 2021? What angels, what messages wants to come forward for them? What message wants to come forward for our Leos? Okay. Bushfires. There's a fire within you. I think sometimes you worry that if you speak out or if you speak your truth, you're gonna possibly tarnish relationships. Like to speak up is to actually like, I don't know. I feel like you've been limited so long that sometimes you worry that like what you say could get you into trouble. But also just recognizing the natural order of the world is something that's coming up. I'm sorry, I don't know why that resonates in that way, but let's see what the book says. So. It represents fury. So extreme emotions, once engaged, are hard to put back in container. Anger is a healthy emotion, yet fury is less necessary. Warlike emotion should be tempered unless survival requires it. Emotional intelligence is required at that time. And with the Ace, the King of Swords, and then the Queen of Swords coming up, that felt like energy that you're moving into. So I think this perspective change is like sometimes you might get so angry and your own anger gets in the way of fury of like where you need to be. But I feel like you're moving into the energy of finding that emotional intelligence. But you have to be the one to do the work. All right. I hope that resonates. If you like, please like and subscribe. And have a very happy new year.